Hello, Brett Bean here, and I just thought I'd give a little bit of commentary on making this piece of artwork called Love Has Come For You. So I did the sketch in blue pencil on Holbein paper that I usually get at San Diego Comic-Con each year. I'll be missing it this year. It's a pretty big bummer. But this is one of their large stock paper and it really holds ink well. And so this is just a regular coal erase blue pencil. And then this is a Pentel pocket brush pen. I've been using these for years. Really easy, fit in the hand really well. And the reason this one is called this is I did this one right after another gun violent incident. And I just had this dream about this creepy creature with a bunch of guns. And then the next day I was listening to Edie Brickell and Steve Martin, which is a great album. And they have a song called Love Has Come For You, which is the exact opposite meaning of what this this illustration is about. But I started thinking about it, and I just started thinking about how much we all love our guns and violence on TV and everything. And so I kind of thought it was, a good connection between the two things I was thinking about, and said, well, yeah, there's gun violence and love has come for you. And so I started making this picture, very much in the tradition of getting a little bit dirtier. A lot of my artwork is very clean, very child-friendly. So this was on purpose, sort of leaning into more of the Ashley Wood dirty ink style and messing around. So here I'm thinking about, so a lot of with my pencil work is I don't plan out all the ideas. I give a rough estimate, and that's because when I get to the inking stage, it still gives me a little bit of freedom to mess around and be a little spontaneous with my ink lines. If I have everything really planned out, I end up getting very stiff and trying to draw, very too perfect to the way that it's done, the way that the pencil is drawing. So this is more of the indication of where the guns are and where the tentacles are and where things are laid out. But then there's a lot of extra stuff in there that I have to do in this inking stage. So. Yeah, and a lot of times with inking, you can either go very clean and kind of do an outline type of inking. A lot of times when I ink for my comic or for my kids stuff, it's much cleaner and much more about the outer edge, and then I'll do the shading with colors, or I'll use certain colors that sort of blend back and forth. And then there's an inking style where you're thinking about inking as shadows, and you're using different line weights to indicate strength of something, or if something's on the bottom, or just giving a little bit of dynamic range that maybe I don't normally do with some of my other artwork before. So all right, as we move forward just a little bit, this is a close-up of, I use the deleter dots, the halftones, and these are really nice because you can get some really nice halftones in there. And actually this is one of my sculpting brushes that would create hairlines in a sculpting, and I kind of just use it to scratch out some of the board to kind of create a little messy scenario with the highlights. And that's because, again, I don't want this to be perfect. I want it to be a little grittier and a little bit dirtier. So I'm mostly grabbing things that I can't control on purpose. So there's a little bit of me wrestling with it more than being perfect with it. And so this is just a close-up. So usually you use one of the sheets, and this is the side of a razor blade that I use. Please be very careful with your razor blades. I had a horrible accident when I was a framer before I went to art school, and whew, not good. I still feel it. Yeah, I'll tell you that story. I didn't have health insurance, and I was framing an original piece of artwork for somebody, and the razor was dull for making the mat board. So of course you kind of know where this is going. I tried to undo it. It swings around and it sticks into my bone through the finger, and I pull out quickly because, you know, it's your first reaction, and I just bled all over this original painting of this person, and I go running out into the front, and I'm just bleeding everywhere, and I just kind of look at the boss, and I just go, I got it, and then she follows me in the back. She's, what are you gonna do? And I didn't have health insurance, and so I ended up pushing my finger back down and duct taping it, and because I never went in, it always healed wrong, so I just have this big mark on my left finger. And I quit 2 weeks later because there was no way I could do it, and she had to apologize. I felt bad because I ruined that guy's painting. It was awful. Anyway, there's your story. So be careful with your razor blades, ladies and gentlemen. But this is when you just lay over the screen tones, and you just lightly cut where you want to. If you have a very soft touch, you can do it this way. If you're very heavy-handed, don't do this because you will cut through and then you will ruin your drawing underneath. I've done enough of these that it became a little bit easier. And then after you're done with that, you just kind of pull back the pieces that you need and you just fix them on top. And sometimes, again, I don't make my lines clean for these ones because I want it to feel kinetic energy. I want it to feel like it's being made on the fly and not just totally planned out like a lot of times that we do in Photoshop and digital art. I want it to be dirty and a little bit, you know, definitely not perfect. And then I use the edge of my pencil eraser to kind of push it down, and so it sticks on the cover there. There you have it. Thanks for watching. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can support this video and the artist by going to www.shopanddraw.com. Thanks for watching.